get the most out of your employees, your management skills, or maybe just your life? Well, you might just want to listen to this man. He is Keith Harrell. He has 20 years of motivational speaking behind him, and his client list includes many Fortune 500 companies. Here's a little bit of Keith in action.
You know, I thank God for giving me the opportunity, but I really believe that we all have a special gift. I believe there's a different game to play. As you go through life with a positive attitude, you understand life's a challenge. I spent 12 years to chase a dream that didn't happen. I used to be negative, but, I can't find my future in the past. I've got to look forward. I challenge you as you reach for the stars to look forward. And if your feet are in the picture, you're not looking forward. If your feet are in the picture, you're not looking down the road. You know, it's funny. I got on the plane 2 months ago. A gentleman looked at me and he said, "You must play with the NBA." Because of my positive attitude, I said, "Yes, I do." He said, "What position?" I said, "I really play them all, sir. I'm the guard, forward, center, player, coach, general manager. I'm the most valuable player, lead and score. Dream Team 2 has nothing on me." He looked at me and he said, "You play with the NBA?" I said, "Yes, I do. I play with my natural-born abilities, and I'm slam dunking every day." Bam! I believe if you're in healthcare today, you're playing with your natural-born abilities. I believe you have a gift to go out and make a difference, and it starts with your attitude. You got to watch out for negative inputs. Don't worry about competition. Stay focused. As you impact 70,000 new customers coming in, you're going to impact them first. You're going to transmit first a positive attitude. But watch out for negative inputs.
Keith is also the author of a new book called Attitude is Everything. With us now is Keith Harrell. He joins us live this morning from Atlanta. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning.
When you talk about attitude, really, this is what your vision focuses upon. And you go and you speak to some of the biggest companies in America and in the world. Amex, AT&T, Caterpillar, the CIA. I mean, these are all organizations that have brought you in. I believe Coca-Cola and IBM keep bringing you back. Here's another look at some of that speech.
You look at this thing about being negative and being positive. How many people go to the doctor once a year kind of for a checkup, kind of a deal? How many people go to the dentist maybe twice a year to get your teeth cleaned? How many people have the oil in your car changed every 3,000, 4,000 miles? Some of you are going, "I need to change my oil." Well, when is the last time you looked at all the change and uncertainty in health care? When was the last time you did a checkup from the neck up, as Zig Ziglar would say? When was the last time you've had an attitude tune-up? I think we all need a pep talk every now and then. If you get caught up on the messenger today, you're going to miss the message. I'm here to say you have a special gift. You impact millions of people, a lot of families, federal employees, retirees, with a special gift of life. I think we're all winners. Last night I saw 15 different groups take the stage. But I hope we all walking out of here, walk out of here knowing together we all achieve more. There's no limit to what can be accomplished where no one cares who gets the credit. You can't spell success without you. That's the attitude I want to embrace today. Why don't you give yourself a round of applause? They treat cancer patients 2 ways: chemotherapy and 4 hours of comedy television. You see, they now say when you're positive, the body produces endorphins, which actually heal and help facilitate the healing process. You see, when you laugh at life, your muscles expand and contract, blood circulation increases, and your digestive system improves. Oh, there are benefits of being positive. You see, when you're positive, you're proactive. I challenge you today as you look at your life, as you look at going back to the office place, how can we empower those people to be more proactive? It doesn't matter if you're in marketing. It doesn't matter if you're in finance. It doesn't matter if you're in claims processing. It doesn't matter if you're in customer service. The bottom line, when you impact somebody today, you impact with attitude. It's your most priceless possession. But that's funny. When you look at attitude, sometimes we do judge people based on how they move. The transmission of attitude. You had a nice walk, beautiful smile. You had a presence. I believe in life you're either on the way or in the way. You're either saying hello or goodbye. Now, if I was introduced and I came down the center aisle this way, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Atlanta, your closing speaker, Mr. Keith Harrell. Whoa. I'm the motivator. You guys are going, and we're out of here now, right? You know, my father retired after 32 years as a college professor. Taught me one thing growing up. He said, son, read as much as you can about your passion, about your love. I try to read a book a month on personal improvement, on self-development. I truly believe the person who doesn't read is no better off than the person who can't. This thing called attitude, I recently read that 15 minutes a day of heavy, deep gut laughing. You know that deep gut laughing? 15 minutes a day is equivalent to 5 minutes of moderate jogging. I got the answer. Wake up 15 minutes early and laugh your tail off and get back in bed. When you start to look at the benefits of being positive, I was working for Big Blue. We had a major announcement meeting in a room about this size. About 800 people packed the auditorium. We knew something was up. Big time. The marketing director stood before us. He said, we just got word today that we've got to lay off 40,000 people. And I don't believe anybody in this room ever imagined that we'd lay off anyone. That means 80% of you, 80% of the 700 people won't be here in 3 months. Well, I know it's Friday, but have a good weekend. And he started to walk away. Right then, I made a conscious decision to be proactive versus reactive. The key thing about attitude is you do have a choice. And I said to myself, Keith, you need to do something. You need to impact these people. You know, attitudes went from an all-time high to a basement low. Self-confidence went out the window. And I looked around and said, you need to do something. I raised my hand. I said, I've got a question. He looked puzzled and confused. He said, yes, what's your question? I said, once these 80% are gone, can I get a bigger office, one with the window view? The whole room busted up into laughter. They all looked back at me and he goes, Mr. Optimistic. And I went on to share that I believe that we all have a special gift. And if it's time for any one of us to leave, it's just time for us to leave. But I believe greatness lives within us. There's more things for us to do. A good friend of mine was standing next to me. He nudged me. He said, you'll probably be the first to go. And I was. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the best right now, and we're going to make it better. We're going to take the best and make it better. You got 5 seconds only. I got some people looking at me like, they won. No, here we go. I'm going to give you one exercise, the power of your own words to move you to greatness. When I ask, are you ready? Use your own voice, your own words to move you to another level. Are you ready? Yeah! Watch this. Are you ready? Yeah! Let it go! All right. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny when you change that state and you go back to your chair, it doesn't even feel the same. I got some people over here looking at me like, give me another chance. But isn't it funny in life you never get a second chance to make a first impression? You know, it's funny when we look at attitude today, we talk about how we transmit attitudes. They now say that 70% of our communication is nonverbal. When you leave and go back to the office, when you walk in, you're going to transmit some type of attitude. I mean, when I ran up here and took the platform, I looked out and made eye contact, and some of you transmitted your attitude. Dr. Metcalf in Atlanta, Georgia, teaches nonverbal communication, and he says 70% of our communication is nonverbal. 70% is attitude. I mean, I ran up here, and I looked out and made eye contact. And some of you looked at me as if to say, that's the speaker. Well, he doesn't even look anything like the last speaker. No, he looks more like a basketball player to me, Harry. And I am. And I'm good. You know, when you're negative in life, you don't want to move. When you're down and out, you don't care how you transmit attitude. The challenge for you when you go back to the office, they will be watching you. This whole conference was a time to network, to educate, to refocus, to get our mission, our direction, and to recharge our battery. I challenge you to stay focused. I challenge you to stay positive and pick up your pace 25%. You know, every morning on the African continent, a gazelle wakes up, and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning a lion wakes up, and it knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. What matters is when the sun comes up, you got to be running.
There are a lot of things you'll see on this video, but there's one thing you won't see, and that's the research. That's the time I take to make sure I understand my audience. I want to make sure I customize my message to have the biggest impact. I use a very extensive questionnaire. I want to know what happens before I speak, what happens afterwards. Is there a theme? I also want to know what are their challenges. What's the size of the audience? Who's in the audience? Are spouses attending? I want to make sure I take my material and tailor it so that the audience can get the maximum amount of information from my message. I want to make sure you get the highest return on your investment. I look forward to making your next event the best ever.
Dr. Charles Mayo is a Harvard psychologist. He stated years ago, 40% of your worries have already happened. 30% never will. 12% are about unfound health conditions, and 10% make up daily nothings. I've got people at Merck right now spending 92% of their day worrying for no good reason. Rule number 1, don't sweat the small stuff. Rule number 2, it's all small stuff. You get focused. This is your year for extraordinary growth. Does that make sense? And the only way you're going to grow is you got to change. You can't grow doing the same old things the same old way, expecting a different result. You got to change. And when you change, the only thing that changes is you. And sometimes that changes everything. I was walking through the hotel lobby this morning. I'm just whistling, smiling. The bell captain looks at me and goes, "Why are you so happy?" I looked at him. I said, "I woke up." He looked kind of puzzled. He said, "You mean certain days you don't get up?" Any day above ground is a good day for me.
If you can visualize a 5-year-old little boy swishing out to his mom's car, I jumped into the back seat. I was so looking forward to going to school. I was just jumping up and down. Any mom and dads in the room, you might remember that special day. My mom turned around. She didn't say a word. She just gave me a big old hug. That's the first moment in my life I realized it's okay to get excited. That was the first program that told me it's okay to have enthusiasm. You see, I may grow old, but I'm never going to let the kid in me die. I'm never going to let the kid die. Now, who's going to go first for Mrs. Peterson? Her eyes looked around that room several times. Her eyes finally locked into mine. And with a big old smile, she bent down and she said, "Would you go first for Mrs. Peterson? Come on, sweetie, you can do it. Stand up, turn around." I jumped up. I turned around and I said, and I'll never forget Nancy, the girl in the back of the room with the pigtails and the glasses. She jumped up and she said, "He can't talk, he stutters, he's having difficulty, Miss Peterson, he needs some assistance." I'll never forget the little boy next to me. His name was Billy. He looked up and said, "You're too tall. You're in the wrong room. I'd go home if I were you." I sat down almost as fast as I stood up, and only 2 things I wanted in my life at that moment. 1, I wanted my mom more than anything in the world. Second thing I wanted to hear the other boys and girls say their name. But no one taught me to protect my ear gate. And I just kept repeating all those negative inputs. "You're too tall, you can't talk, you're not good enough, you ought to go home." You see, when they went to recess, I talked myself into running home. And we lived about 2 miles away. I had never been that far by myself. But even to this day, I believe it's the fastest I've ever ran in my life. Running up on the porch, my mom was coming out of the house. I ran right into her arms. And if I close my eyes right now, I bet you I can still feel my mom's tight, bare hug. And I remember saying to my mom, "Mom, I'm too tall. Mom, I'm not good enough, Mom. I don't fit in the school, Mom. They don't want me in the school." And my mom just squeezed me. And I'll never forget her words. She said, "Honey, Mommy just hung up for Miss Peterson. Mommy was coming to get you. Mama's got some good news." And as soon as she said good news, it changed my program. I said, "Mama's got some good news?" She said, "Mama's proud of you because you tried. Honey, in life we're going to have challenges. We're not going to worry. We're going to stay focused. We're going to get you some help. We're going to work hard because Mama can already see it. Get a hold of this. Now, you got to start seeing it because one day my little baby's going to stand tall. And one day my little boy is going to say his name as loud and as well as all the other boys and girls. You know, my mother told me this over 36 years ago. I think she was talking about today. I'm going to take a minute to finish something my mother told me one day I'd be able to do. My name is Keith Douglas Harrell. Thanks, Mom.
What makes KC so great is the fact that you're embracing change. You're going through a transformation, looking at your processes, understanding here's manufacturing, here's distribution. I got to continue to provide service after the sale. It's all about change. You show me a champion today who's not changing, I'll show you a champion who's in a rut. And the only difference between a rut and a grave are the dimensions. Are you with me? I normally start my presentation by asking one fundamental question. Which attitude did you bring? But nuh-uh. I was here at 8 o'clock. I saw the attitude coming in. I saw the spirit. You guys were just coming in. Oh, I'm happy to be in here. I'm happy. That's an attitude of a champion. You see, a champion knows you have to be on all the time. It's called 24/7. You can't drag in hoping to go up with a bad attitude. I know right now a lot of you spend a lot of time in your car. You're going through a lot of transformation, and I know change is impacting everybody, but change is the power to grow. Here's what I want you to do if you're not doing it right now. I want you to go back home, look in your glove box, and I want you to make sure you have the motivational tapes in your car. I want you to make sure you have the tapes in your car because the best way to program in to the brain positive things is when you're driving. Average commute time in America is 40 minutes. Certain parts of California is an hour and 15. We spend so much time in our car, we can get a 4-year education in 2 years if we put it on audio. I bump into a lot of people trying to win today, and they haven't realized this. Now, I'll throw this out here. The most powerful computer in the world is what? It's the brain. And if you want to be proactive, you want to be positive, you got to program in positive things to the brain. Somebody in this room, you're only 6 inches away from your greatest year ever. From this ear to the other ear. What I'm simply trying to say, if you walk out of here with your 4 cornerstones, if you walk out of here focused on the fact that we're going to win all seasons, if you walk out of here understanding the fact that I'm going to stay focused on my KPIs, you walk out of here understanding the fact that I know I control my destiny. Whatever you program in is what you get out. I guarantee you'll make a mark that can never be erased. Are you right? I got a phrase right now. Garbage in, garbage stays. Don't even let it in. If you're stressed out because of negative attitude, I read last week the article in USA Today said go out and get a dog. Go buy a dog if you're stressed out. It said a dog is actually better for you than a spouse. I ain't going there right now. It said a spouse loves you so much that sometimes a spouse will criticize, and the worst thing you need if you're stressed is criticism. A dog will never criticize. How many people have a dog? That's probably the reason why you're a champion. How many people have seen a dog before? They said a dog will give you something that you won't give yourself. Who can tell me what it is? Unconditional love. No strings attached. I'm going to love you. Whether you're making your numbers or not, I'm going to love you. How many people have a dog? Stand up if you have one. Take a look at these people. If you don't have a dog, find out where they live and go to their house. I thank my dad for allowing me to have a dog. My dog taught me how to sell. My dog taught me how to be positive. I had my dog for 17 years. Her name was Tasha. She used to watch TV with me, never once asked for the remote. I know some of you out there going, when are you going to talk about cats? I read just the other day, if you have a cat in your house, your cholesterol level is lower than the average person because they give off a peace, a serenity, a calmness. But that's a whole unique attitude. You ever see a cat walking through the living room? Here, kitty, kitty, here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty, here, kitty, kitty. You better call the dumb dog. And then they go over to your litter box, they do their business, they jump out, they look at you, clean that up. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to love my teammates. I'm going to love my family. Unconditionally. Give yourself a round of applause. Unconditional, unconditional, unconditional. Final thing I want to do. Final thing I want to do. I'm going to generate probably one of the best attitudes for selling anything. It's called enthusiasm. Enthusiasm comes from a Greek word. It means God or spirit within. Your spirit inside helps you differentiate. And I guarantee, I've learned this over my years in selling, a dead battery can't jump a dead battery. You got to plug into a source to give you that energy you need to make a difference. I'm going to have a contest right now. We're going to split the room up. Right down this row right here. Sir, I'm in the middle of your forehead. Go either way you want to go right now. This side versus this side. We're going to have this whole side go first. When I drop my hands, we're going to generate some power of enthusiasm. I want you to stand and clap for your family. Clap for the fact that you recognize you're a champion. Clap for the fact that you're playing to win. You watch them, you're going next. We're going to have a contest. The winning side gets a prize. I know some of you are going, what's the gift? 5 seconds, 5 seconds. I want you out of your chair. 5 seconds, let it go. Ready, ready, ready. Go, give me 5, give me 5. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Woo! Wow, wow. Boy, give yourself a round of applause. That was good. Woo! Man, that was good. Wow. We're going to take the best and we're going to make it better. We're going to take the best and make it better. I can feel some negative vibes. I can feel some people going, they got more people. I don't have the right supermarkets. I don't have enough wholesalers. I don't have the right locations. Repeat after me. I've got what it takes to win. I got an attitude. I'm ready to attack. When I ask, are you ready? Use the power of your voice to shout out yes. Are you ready? Yes! I got some people over here going, I think they won. Yeah. 5 seconds, 5 seconds. Here we go. Ready, ready. Go, give it to me, give it to me. Come on, give it to me. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. That's it. That's it. That's it. Woo. Okay, that's it. Woo. Wow. Woo. Wow. Woo. Wow. I didn't know what to do.
Whether I'm speaking on increasing performance, change, customer service, or teamwork, it all comes back to a positive attitude. Whether it's the contents of my book or my keynote message, attitude is everything. I feel it all starts with getting people to believe they can make a difference.
5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. Ready? Go, give it 5, give it 5. Woo! Oh, man. Woo! 5 seconds, 5 seconds. Ready? Go, give me 5, give me 5. 5 seconds, 5 seconds, ready, go, give it 5. Oh, wow. Look at that, 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 look. Woo! Woo! Ready, 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 ready. Go, give it to me, give it to me. Woo! I'll tell you something, look over right there. Woo! I see you. Oh, I see you. I see you there. I see you going at it. I see you pulling.
Oliver Wendell Holmes said it best when he said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. What lies within you is an attitude to win. Extraordinary growth. God bless you. Have a super fantastic year.
One of the best speakers we've ever had at nurturing the heart was Keith Harrell. He really touched the raw nerve of the LensCrafters Associate, which is I can control my destiny and I can make great things happen. He was wonderful, fired up the crowd, and did more homework about our company than any speaker we ever used before.
I'm Gail Meisner, President of the International SL1 Users Association. In June, we had over 3,500 attendees from 40 countries at our annual conference. Keith Harrell's assignment was to make sure our attendees were so pumped up, so motivated, that this would be their best conference experience ever. Keith was so successful that for the remainder of the week, and even now, people are still talking about the impact of his message, attitude is everything. This was the first time our opening speaker made such an inspirational difference.
The key elements that I liked about what Keith did for us as an organization was that he incorporated the business needs into his speech while using a tremendous amount of humor that was very exciting to our sales and marketing organization. He used some personal experiences from his own time in the corporation as well as his life, and stories and research and exciting music that really got our people involved in what he was saying. He was very impactful to our people in two ways that are critical to us, both in their professional lives as well as their personal lives. The impact on an organization was tremendous. People left the meeting feeling good about their abilities and their teams. They felt better equipped in terms of their attitudes and what they had to do in terms of supporting our change in direction. And still today, several months later, people are still telling me, have a super fantastic day.
Hi, I'm Don Ross, Chief Operating Officer with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and I'm happy to be here to talk to you about Keith Harrell and his associates. We at Enterprise have used Keith and his team for a number of our meetings, ranging from several hundred of our managers to several thousand. I can tell you Keith does his homework. His message is always on point and very motivational. In fact, you could say Keith is super fantastic.